We need Emma at the trial.
I can't allow that.
Brad.
She's 10 years old.
I understand that.
I said no. She's a child.
Listen to me. You have serious monster issues here. To the world and to the potential jury pool, you are the man who murdered his pregnant wife and unborn son. The best way to humanize you is to let the jury see you as a father and not a killer. And the best way to accomplish that is to have your daughter by your side, at your side.
And what will that do to her? To have to sit there and listen while her father is demonized before
She's already hearing that everywhere she turns. I think the real question is, what will it do to her to see you go to prison? Which is exactly what we're looking at.
You need to get me out on bail, Eleanor.
Brad, you are up on double homicide. I hardly think...
You need to think of a way. I need to address a potential jury pool. For that, I need to have a news conference. To do that, I gotta get out of here.
The judge is never going...
Eleanor, I need you to start demonstrating the zeal that comes with defending an innocent man. Homicide suspects are sometimes afforded bail. I need you to accomplish that courtesy for me. Now.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming in. I'm informed you still plan to argue self-defense.
Actually, defense of others, but same principle.
You will not be arguing self-defense or defense of others, Mr. Young. There's no factual basis for it, and it won't be asserted.
Well, we have to be allowed to put on a defense.
Well, you won't be allowed to put on that one. Let's watch it together, shall we?
We've all seen the tape.
You'll see it again, with me. Here comes your client. If you so much as attempt to argue self-defense or defense of others, I will hold you in contempt of court. Are we clear, gentlemen?
Then we'd like to change our plea, Your Honor.
To?
Insanity.
And what's your basis for that?
You saw the tape. She's crazy.
Young for some Belushi.
Insanity?
That's all we got left. Tara?
Jamie, I need that motion in limine.
Please hold. I went through the list of doctors too are willing to testify, but they want their full retainer. And you have another problem. Markham got called.
For when?
For now. Judge Dickham.
Did you tell...
I did. He won't budge.
Jamie, can you do the pretrial?
Me?
Oh, yes.
If we don't find a shrink, we might as well...
We will. Keep looking. Come on, let's go see the client.
Call Dickham's clerk. I need to speak to him personally.
Eleanor,
Alan, hey, what's up?
do you have a second?
Actually, I don't.
Something came up at Carruthers. I left. Now I'm looking for new employment. And since my heart has always yearned to do whatever this is...
What exactly came up at Carruthers, Alan?
I embezzled. Allegedly. Could I have some coffee, please, with cream? Thank you. I'd be such a natural here.
Wait a second. You expect me to recommend you for employment after you stole?
The important thing is, I feel icky.
Alan.
I'm the leading antitrust lawyer in the state. I'm going through an enormous character growth.
Just the same.
And I need a break.
I'll tell you what. You do a case for us today, see how you like it.
Today?
Misdemeanor battery, homeless person, kiss somebody.
You certainly don't expect me to walk in and try a case on the fly.
If there's any problem, I will be on vibrate.
Ellie. I have issues with homeless people.
What issues?
They don't like me. I think it must be cultural.
Look, I am late for a motion. You try the case, then we'll talk.
Bugger.
Isn't it up to a jury? I don't get a jury.
You do. But unfortunately, the judge can cut off a defense if he feels it's not supported.
What do I do? I'm dead.
Our only choice now is insanity.
I wasn't insane.
Understood. But it's the only mechanism we have left to secure an acquittal.
Shooting that man was maybe the most clear-headed thing I ever did in my life.
Not anymore.
Wait, you're his lawyer?
Is there a problem?
You're Alan Shore. What are you doing at a criminal bench trial?
Looking to meet women. I perused the file, and I think we can both agree it's beneath us, so why don't we dispose of it? Go get a drink.
The victim filed, and my boss won't kick civilian complaints.
It's not like anybody got hurt, Cindy. May I call you Cindy?
My name's Kate.
Kate.
60 days.
Is this the way it's gonna be?
Hey, if you can get the victim to withdraw, the drink's on me. Otherwise, take the offer to your client, who's right over there, in case you haven't met him.
Mr. Markham, I'm Alan Shore, your attorney.
What happened to Ms. Frutt?
She's tied up. Nothing sexual, I assure you. I'll be taking over the case. So, how are we today, sir?
I just Halle Berry'd her. That's all I did.
I beg your pardon?
Look at the Oscars. The guy just planted one on her, because when else would he get a chance? That's all I did.
I see.
We all knew it was a crack house, and a lot of us were upset, especially Aisha. She lost a child to a drive-by 3 years ago.
Now, sir, calling attention to the afternoon of July 3rd, could you tell us what you saw?
Yeah. Well, there were a bunch of us kind of sprucing up the street because we were planning a July 4th block party. And then there we saw him.
Saw who?
Marcus Thayer, crack dealer. Selling his stuff on the steps like he did every damn day. He had some clients there.
And what happened?
Well, Aisha, she went right up to him. And she started telling him this and that. Get your ass off the street. He got in her face like he always does, and they're yelling back and forth at each other. And then she just walked off.
After she left, what happened?
But then I got into it with him, and he came at me just like he did her. And I told him he better not be out there pushing his crack during our block party. And we talked a little bit more trash, and as I started off, I looked up, and here she comes again. And now she's got a gun. And she's saying something, but the truth be told, I couldn't hear it. My eyes were on that gun. She walked right up to him. She aims, and she shoots him 3 times. Shot him dead right there in the street.
Mr. Kane, could you describe for us Miss Crenshaw's demeanor as she fired the gun?
She looked fed up.
Thank you.
You said this Mr. Thayer sold crack every day. Why didn't you people just call the police?
We called them all the time. They never did anything.
Nothing.
Oh, they drive by now and then. They put up the observation posts with the little cameras. That's how they got that tape, but they never did do nothing. To get them to come into our neighborhood, a gun has to go off.
That sounds like an exaggeration.
An exaggeration. There's an ice cream truck. Drives down our street. Makes all the kids come running. They sell popsicles, fudgesicles, and cocaine. The ice cream truck. There are children on our street, 10 years old, not only using, but dealing.
Mr. Berluti, please step up.
What is the relevance of this testimony, Mr. Berluti?
Goes to defendant's intent. Just trying to get a clear picture, Judge.
Do you enjoy practicing law, counsel?
You know, Judge, you rebuking me in front of the jury doesn't make me look good. So I'm just gonna smile and make it look like the two of us are having a good laugh together. Would that be okay, Judge? I'm just smiling for effect. Please don't think I consider you a funny guy. Can I continue now, Judge?
Mr. Markham? It is selective prosecution. That's what this is.
You're right. But while the man who kissed Hallie continues to go free, why don't we sit in here and go over your testimony?
Excuse me. Hi. We have a problem. We can't expense new clothes for clients. Not in the budget.
This is a top criminal firm in Boston. Surely we can afford $200.
The top firm that you speak of is Donald Young, Dole and Fratt. Dole is gone. Dole is gone. Washington is gone. And we don't take clients shopping.
Do we take each other shopping?
I wasn't insane when I fired that gun. I won't say I was. I shot that man because he was killing our children, because he wouldn't stop killing our children.
Okay, look. Hey, me, Aisha. Right in the eyes. The judge has taken away defense of others.
You explained that.
Well, evidently not well enough. If we don't claim insanity, we have no theory by which to prevail.
Then I go to prison. I'd rather do that than to pretend I'm crazy. You look me in the eye. I am not nuts. Drugs are killing our babies. Somebody has to protect our babies. If the police refuse...
You cannot say that.
Yes, I can. And you can't stop me.
The judge will stop you.
I'm the client. I get to decide what our legal strategy is, counsel. There won't be insanity.
I do not want bail.
Why not?
Because if you get let out, there will be a public outcry, Brad, and that outcry could prejudice us at trial.
I don't think you follow. If I'm allowed to address the public, the outcry will be squashed. That's the point.
I think you're overestimating your charm a little.
Daddy!
Hey, baby. Oh, God. You get bigger every day, young lady. Hey, Christine.
Hello?
Look at you.
Miss Shepard, I was wondering if I could talk to you for a few minutes.
Your client murdered my sister, Miss Fratt. I won't be cooperating much with his defense.
It was so gross. I, came around the turn in the corridor and he was there.
The defendant?
Yes. And next thing, he was, forcing his scuzzy tongue into my mouth.
And this occurred when?
At my place of work, for God's sake. Everybody saw it. And the way he smelled. His smell was on me. It took 3 showers to get it off.
Thank you, Debbie.
Forgive me, I just want to say for the record, you are a very fetching young lady. Do gentlemen hit on you a lot?
Some.
I can imagine. At the office Christmas party, you ever been suddenly kissed while standing underneath the mistletoe?
By coworkers, not total strangers.
You never filed criminal charges in those instances?
No.
That was an honest answer, Debbie. I appreciate that. Let me ask you this. If Brad Pitt suddenly approached you, kissed you at the office, would you call the police? Honestly.
He's not Brad Pitt.
Yes, I see. So it's not so much being kissed, but rather by whom?
By what?
Thank you, Debbie. That was refreshingly honest. By the way, if I were to... Never mind, that's probably not appropriate.
You can step down, young lady.
Okay. Accept responsibility, show remorse, convey that you never meant to harm or scare her. Okay?
Yeah.
The defense calls Randy Markham.
Why?
Why?
If he did it, I don't have to hear why. It takes my time. I value my time, Mr. Shore. When it's wasted, my hemorrhoids tend to bubble up.
He's a defendant. In Massachusetts, I believe the Constitution trumps the bubbled hemorrhoid. I could be wrong.
You know what? You're absolutely right. If your client chooses to testify, that is his constitutional right. It would certainly be very inappropriate for me to deter the exercising of that precious entitlement. Would your client like to testify, Mr. Shore?
Why don't you have a seat? We wanted to talk to you about your dad's trial, which starts next week.
He told me. You want me to come?
Yes.
We also were thinking of calling you as a witness. Did your dad tell you that?
Yes. You want me to say my mom seemed really sad, so people will believe she committed suicide.
We just want you to tell the truth.
She seemed really sad.
Do you think your mom killed herself?
I know my dad didn't kill her. He loved her. She seemed so sad, so I think she must have committed suicide.
Emma, did your dad ask you to say that?
No.
Mr. Markham? So sorry to come here. My daughter, Ashley. Say hello, baby.
Hi.
She's never swam in a pool before. I thought while we were waiting...
You have a daughter?
Yeah.
She live with you on the street?
I'm not homeless. Live in a tenement in a project. I try to give her as normal a life as I can.
What are you doing here?
I got rolled.
I'm sorry?
For my shoes. I got rolled for my shoes. I got nothing for testimony tomorrow. Had your address, and I just figured you got me the suit. Without the shoes, you know, the whole point.
I'll bring you another pair of shoes tomorrow.
Can I ask you a question? You don't got to answer if you don't want to.
No, go ahead.
A girl in court today said I smell. I smell.
At the moment, only like chlorine.
Please. Be honest with me.
You do have a distinctive body odor.
I do bathe. Maybe not as much. I do bathe.
Look at this, Daddy.
I'm really sorry. She's always dreamed of swimming in a pool. I should have done this.
No, it's okay. Swim as long as you like. And I'll see you tomorrow in court.
Thank you. Very much.
The observation posts are a joke. Those drug deals are captured on tape just as clearly as what I did, but the police don't respond. I doubt they even look at those tapes.
Is crack a big problem in your neighborhood, Aisha?
Is it a big problem? My 2-year-old daughter was killed in a drive-by 3 years ago. I've seen my friends' children become dealers, addicts. My street has become crack lane, Mr. Baluti. It's almost impossible for a child to grow up in our neighborhood without it being shoved in his face. There are drive-by shootings, random killings, intentional killings, and at the root of it all are drugs, cocaine, crack, all being dealt openly and notoriously by Marcus Thayer and others, and the police do nothing.
Counsel.
So, what happened that day?
What happened is I decided to do something to save the kids on our street. I decided to protect the lives that Marcus Thayer was so intent on destroying.
Miss Crenshaw, as I have advised your counsel, I will advise you. Defense of others is not a justifiable theory.
It's justifiable to the parents who live in our neighborhood.
Miss Crenshaw, I will instruct this jury not to accept self-defense or defense of others.
Why don't you instruct the mayor to instruct the police to clean up our streets?
You have the right to present your testimony, but as you move forward...
These dealers are arrested over and over and never do time. It has to stop.
I will tell this jury in no uncertain terms that as a matter of law, they cannot even consider defense of others as an exculpatory theory. Do you understand that?
I think so. As a matter of law, the truth of what happened that day can't be considered in this room.
I will see counsel in chambers. I gave you a specific order.
We pass that on to our client. But as Your Honor well knows, every criminal defendant has the right to take the stand and tell his or her story. Our client chose to exercise that right.
If you argue defense of others in your closing, I will have both of your bar cards. Do you understand me? Do you understand me, counsel?
We understand.
I just think we need an alternative version to suicide. The idea that she killed herself with cyanide. Look, I assembled a mock jury. I presented the defense side only, none of the prosecution's evidence, and still, none of them would swallow suicide.
What do you mean, a mock jury?
I wanted to test our defense because I am very nervous about it. And as I said, I only gave them our version.
No,
and
you didn't give them our version, Eleanor. I am the defense version. Your little mock jury didn't hear from me.
Brad.
My wife was a very bad woman. She had an affair. She wanted to leave me, Eleanor, destroy our family. I'm sure she was racked with guilt over that, don't you? Ask Emma. Molly seemed very sad. She committed suicide.
You kissed her, as she described?
Well, I didn't totally surprise her. I gave her a chance to see me coming. I wanted her to see me first.
Why is that?
Because I wanted her to know who was kissing her.
Can you tell us why?
Well, the day before, I'm sitting on Columbus. I had my little girl with me. 6 years old.
What were you doing on Columbus Street?
Begging. Soliciting for money. I work here and there where I can, but when I don't have enough money for food, I'm not above asking people for help. That's what I was doing this day. And she walks by.
She being?
The girl I went on to kiss. She walks by. I asked for help, and she made a remark about me being disgusting, about me smelling. You said that right in front of my daughter. And then you mumbled some other things as you walked away. Things I won't repeat. But my daughter heard it.
Then what happened?
I watched her walk into a building. And I turned to my baby and she was crying.
Why was she crying?
Because of what she heard. I haven't been able to give my daughter much. But I did give her the right to respect her dad. And maybe even on the odd day admire. You took that from her.
Mr. Markham, why kiss this woman?
Because I wanted to embarrass her the way that she embarrassed me. I walked my smelly ass into her office. I walked my disgusting self right up to her and I kissed her to humiliate her. Make you feel the way I felt. The way I still feel. Sitting in a courtroom, listening to you tell this judge and everybody that it took you 3 showers to get the smell off of you.
Murder too?
It allows for the possibility of parole. We think you should take it.
What'll my sentence be?
Life. But again, with murder one...
Forget it.
Aisha.
I said forget it.
I heard what you said. But listen to me, please. We have nothing. Our only hope, if you can even call it a hope, is for a hung verdict. Our only chance to get that is to convince a juror to say the hell with the law.
Good, get one to say that.
If they come back guilty, which, truthfully, how could they not? You get life, no parole.
There's no point in being a martyr.
I know you care. You care because we're all on the same side. Problem is, with too many voices, you get noise. So let's speak with one voice. And since I'm the client, since I'm the one who's going to be sitting in that prison cell, let's let the voice be mine. Jimmy, I want you to look those jurors in the eye and tell them that the law is wrong. Marcus Thayer had it coming. The law is wrong.
Debbie, hello.
You're dishonest, you know. Dressing him up like that in a suit? That is not what it costed me, and you know it.
Debbie, this case was assigned to me. Certainly you know that. Do you think I like defending these kinds of people? You know, this isn't technically relevant to the case, but I touched myself with you in mind last night. Your hair was very different, but anyway, just between you and me, it turns out Mr. Markham has a homeowner's insurance policy. Cheap, but not totally worthless. If you were to, say, sue him civilly, you might get, say, $10,000.
I would?
The policy covers defamation of character. For you to allege his kissing you defamed you. Perhaps people thought you were a couple. The claim would be colorable with the assistance of a good attorney, which I am. Of course, I would need you to drop the criminal complaint. We'd want to throw Randy a bone, wouldn't we? I bet you could use $10,000. Think of the shopping, Debbie.
Isn't that like an illegal bribe?
Which means this would have to be our little secret.
It's all in the wording, Jimmy. If you word it right, he can't shut you down. But if you're not disciplined with every word...
Okay.
All we need is one juror, Jimmy. One juror buys us a hung jury. With that, we get a new trial, and that's all we can hope for at this point.
And what if he does shut me down?
Well, if you word it right, he can't without handing us a new trial. And if he does that, great.
Hello.
What's this embezzling thing?
Thank you for asking. It was sort of a half Robin Hood kind of thing. I took from the rich.
And who'd you give to?
I kept it. Thus the half Robin Hood. I've disappointed you.
What's this about bringing a hooker to a client's wedding?
The invitation said significant other. I assure you she was extremely significant.
It doesn't even matter whether the judge allows cameras in the courtroom or not. You're already in that room. More importantly and alarmingly, you're in the jury room. Every article being written about Brad Stanfield presupposes his guilt. He's the horrible husband who murdered his pregnant wife. Amazing that you can all know that without being privy to the facts. The prosecution has guarded this case tightly. We don't even know the evidence, and yet, with the media, the world, and possibly the potential jury pool, he already stands guilty. Get this. Molly Stanfield took her own life. And when the facts finally and appropriately come out in trial, you will all know what I know now. My client is innocent.
Okay. Chanel. We can make this very simple. Randy will agree not to contest the claim, which he has to do as the policyholder. He'll also waive the conflict, so I can help you, Deborah. You agree to drop the criminal complaint, and we all agree to keep this agreement completely private.
And what if the insurance won't pay?
They will. It's a lot less than the cost of litigation. I also know the claims adjuster. He's a friend. A giver. Corrupt. The only thing left then would be the apology. We would like it to be both oral and written.
Wait, you want me to apologize?
In person now, and in writing so his daughter can read it when she's older.
Why would I ever apologize to him?
Because you offended his dignity, Debbie. You were disrespectful to an honorable man and his daughter. You demeaned his character. What you did was wrong. Those are the conditions, non-negotiable.
I believe quite strongly in law and order. We are a nation of laws, and it would be wrong for me or any lawyer to say it's okay for one person to take the law into her own hands. So I won't argue that. Even if children were dying in front of her, as was the case with my client, even if she had to witness teenage drug addiction, gunfire, sometimes the killing of innocent people, such as her own 2-year-old daughter. As I said, it would be wrong for me, as an officer of the court, to argue that she be allowed to take the law into her own hands. So I won't argue that. I won't argue self-defense or defense of others. But you all heard what was in her mind. It is within the power of this jury to vote your conscience. And I would implore you to dig into your conscience today.
Mr. Berluti.
Martin Luther King Jr. said, when confronted with an unjust law, the moral and ethical thing to do is to break that law. He said that. It would be wrong for me to say it.
Counsel.
My client had no right to take the law into her own hands. Of course not. It is totally irrelevant that the police weren't protecting her neighborhood. Also irrelevant that the conviction rate for drug arrests in Boston is below 10%. Below 10%. Put that out of your minds. Drug use is going up, while drug arrests are going down. It's out of control. But it has no relevance here. What are we as parents supposed to do? That's a rhetorical question, of course. It's not an issue for today.
Mr. Berluti.
As a matter of law, Aisha Crenshaw should have waited for the police to respond, even though they weren't responding. She should have let the children become drug addicts or drug dealers. She should have let them continue to die. She should have done nothing and let all this happen because, after all, we are a nation of laws.
The law Mr. Berluti suggests you defy is the one against murder. And what he's asking you to embrace is terrorism. The defendant decided someone was not worthy of life, and so she acted to execute him. And a lawyer now stands before you mocking our allegiance to law and order. There are many countries in the world who tolerate street justice. You don't like somebody, you just shoot them. There are places where this happens. But this is America. We don't permit vigilantism. We don't tolerate murder when the killer sees fit, no matter what his or her conscience. And we certainly don't embrace terrorism. My heart goes out to Miss Crenshaw for the loss of her child. Could the police do a better job? Perhaps. If they had the resources, I'm sure they would. But what's the answer? For citizens to pull out guns and shoot the bad guys? Is that the country we want to live in? Is it? I too believe our jury should reflect the conscience of America. That is not in my conscience. And I pray to God for all our children. It's not in yours.
Hi.
Hi.
It's just too phallic. Do you mind?
You know, I've heard of this faux flirtatiousness being used to cover the real thing. Are you attracted to me?
Are you looking for a slap?
Tara, rather rough trade for a secretary.
I'm a third-year law student and a paralegal, not a secretary. This agreement that you had me type up? Tantamount to insurance fraud.
Is that wrong?
Little advice. You might mock the law and get away with it. But don't make sport of me. Are we clear? Al?
So you are attracted to me? Mr. Markham.
I don't want to take up much of your time. I'm not a good talker, but in my life, I never had anybody recognize me as a person of dignity. Nobody ever called me honorable before. And in keeping with the character you accused me of having, thank you. Mr. Shore.
You think you're clever, counsel. You think that closing was clever.
Hey, Judge, if you think I crossed the line, call a mistrial. In fact, you might have a duty to...
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Get a new trial. Is that what's going on? You want a mistrial?
I'm just interested in us all doing the right thing.
Now, you listen to me.
Hey, you told me what I couldn't argue. I stood up there and expressly didn't argue it. You got any problem with me now, then it must be personal.
I take my courtroom very personal. And
if I cross the line, call a mistrial.
All right.
Jury's back.
Mr. Foreman, am I to understand you have reached a unanimous verdict in 20 minutes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What say you?
On the matter of the Commonwealth versus Aisha Crenshaw, on the charge of murder in the first degree, we find the defendant, Aisha Crenshaw, not guilty.
Not guilty? As in straight not guilty?
Obviously, there's no accounting for it. This jury simply made a decision to let a guilty person go free. Clearly, Mr. Berlutti's endorsement of civil disobedience registered. Not my version of justice, Paul. I'm being informed Miss Crenshaw is about to make a statement.
Am I surprised? Yes. But I'm also heartened. The jury sent a message not just to me or the police, but to all of us. We need to take back our streets. The Second Amendment gives us the right to bear arms to defend our homes, our streets. It's time that the good people start exercising that right to defend our children. We, the people, need to rise up. We need to put these dealers down before they take any more of our children. And it's not just in Boston. All over you hear about tax cuts. Well, it's service cuts. And it's the poor neighborhoods suffering these service cuts across this country. We need to rise up and do a job.
Mr. Young, what do you have a comment about what you just said?
Next, on the practice.
If you take the stand, you are guaranteed a guilty...
You listen to me. I will take that stand. I will tell my story, and they will cry for me.
Assuming you do hear God's thoughts, persuading a jury of that reality will be difficult for me.
I had the highest winning percentage of any litigator in my firm. They had no right to fire me.
You can't be willing to take this to trial. Oh, but we can. She was terminated for a disability. That's against the law.
She will be publicly revealed as a loon, which you are, Sheila.
All right, let him play.
James Caan is Big Ed DeLine.
Welcome to the family.
Owner of Sin City's hottest surveillance team.
I'm really gonna like working here.
Las Vegas, CH Monday at 9.
It's the Paradise Hotel 2-hour finale.
This is to the four of us.
And we've saved the biggest twist for last.
This is the only way you can win the prize.
Who will be the last couple standing at Paradise Hotel?
CH Wednesday. The memories.
You remember Halloween? You unwrapped a chocolate bar out of my bag and replaced it with a cat poo.
The love. This is family. Everybody loves Raymond. Mobile's got it 9 Monday.
This bachelor's new roommate is his nephew.
Will you take me swimming in the ocean?
Why would I lie? The ocean is closed today.
Charlie Sheen stars.
Hey, kid, don't you know what a full house is?
Yeah, and I also know what a psych out is.
In 2.5 Men, 9:30 Monday.